believe it or not, sound can set up your ideas. Because the way I was just playing is very like tender, but if I'm going... different kind of vibe. So the sound gives the idea the quality that I want, you know. And then there's other things on trombone that you can do, like... So I started thinking, okay, I'll work on this. What I'm doing is I'm playing and singing at the same time. That's called multiphonics. But once again, huh? Do it again. Well, I mean, I'll just show you one thing. What I was just doing there is fifths. I'm going la, so I get. But I can also go la. Tritones. So you got to work on it. Your voice has to be not, tired. But so all instruments have the ability to do different things. There's another thing called against the grain playing on a trombone. So for example, if I'm playing on a piece, and I used to hear John Coltrane do this. Right? And what I'm doing on a trombone is that you can play the same note. But the point is, through investigation, you find how you can work with your sound. And also, what you'll start to notice is that all of these categories overlap. Sound overlaps with technique, which overlaps with ideas. Because, for example, my sound created and gave life to certain ideas. It's sort of like if you're using a ballad sound on a blues, it's not going to work. It's common sense. It's like the same thing if you're just blasting really loud and you're trying to just play something poignant and soft and tender. That's not going to work. Now, the thing about technique, and I want to have a little time for questions. I know we got about 15 minutes left, right?
No, we have about 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay, time flies. With technique, we're talking about scales. We're talking about patterns. We're talking about tunes, like bebop tunes. And so, the one thing I would say really quickly, for example, the way to practice scales, what I do is I sit at the piano. And let's say you take F Now we were talking about modes before. If it's over your head or something that, you know, you can ask some of your teachers this week about it. But the church modes, Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian modes. Like, let's just take a key like F. I'll just play it. Right? What I'll do, and you go to Dorian. Then you go to Lydian. You go to Mixolydian. Get a better voice. You go to Aeolian. And finally you get to Phrygian. Okay, and I just went through all 7 modes starting on F. And so the modes, you know, these modes, and I know I'm going quick because we don't have much time, but the modes of Ionian and Lydian, which are the major modes, and then Dorian, Aeolian, Phrygian, and Locrian, and then Mixolydian. Okay, here you got the major modes, here you got the minor modes, and here's the dominant, right? Well, these are just colors, you know. Lydian is brighter than Ionian, and Dorian is brighter than Aeolian, which is, you know, brighter than Phrygian, which is darker than Aeolian. Locrian is the darkest. So here you have the brightest to the darkest, right? And Mixolydian is the only one you have, but we won't get too involved in it. But what I'm saying is, you practice these scales, it's just like using colors. And so then when time comes, because, you know, some people get bummed out because they have to practice scales or patterns. They think, like, you know, I want to blow free. I don't want to be tied down to all this, like, conception of theory or all this, you know, crud that it seems like. It seems like too much. I just want to play melodies and blow free. The thing is, there's a freedom in discipline. And the freedom is, for example, let's take artists. If you had a painter, now one guy is like a Da Vinci. When you look at the painting, it looks like a photograph, right? You see that painting, it's exactly. And then the other person is like Picasso, where he tells you that it's someone playing a guitar, but you can't even really see the guitar and you can't see the person, unless maybe you squint, you know, and you think, okay, well maybe it could be that. But the thing is, both of those painters started with a palette. You have a palette, you have colors, right? You have red, you have blue, you have yellow, right? You have white and black. And then you mix those colors. You mix yellow and green, you know, when you get blue. So you actually have red, green, and yellow. Am I right about that?
Red,
Blue and yellow. Red, blue, and yellow. So anyway, the point about those primary colors is you mix the colors. You make purple. You do everything. Before you ever go to paint on a canvas, every artist I know several really great artists, they prepare the paint. They're like meticulous. We go to the art, sometimes I'm hanging out with them. We go to the art store. They buy all the paint. They lay all the paint out. They got the colors out. Before they ever start to paint, they know the colors. For us, these are our colors. And so you prepare yourself, and then when you go to play, you control the color. Otherwise, you're going to be painting in colors that you don't have control of. Does that make sense? Like, you know, not that it's bad, but every painting might come out purple. Or every painting might be black or white. And you can say, that's a great painting, it's only black or white, but don't you want to have some color in your painting? You want to have control. And so this is what technique, you know, practicing patterns, practicing scales, and practicing all the handouts that your teachers are giving you this week. The thing is, all your teachers this week, they're here for a reason, because they're master players and teachers. And this has been tried and true. Like, you know, what we're trying to do is help you out, because those of us who are here as teaching you, we've listened to Charlie Parker and J.J. Johnson and Dizzy Gillespie and John Coltrane and these guys. And we found common things that they all have in their playing. Now, whether that was what they were thinking or not is a different story. But there is a common thread and common color and common system that all the great musicians, all the great innovators in this music had a great sound, great technique, and great ideas.